Welcome everyone to the 10th edition of Startup Nextcon. My name is Moon So-ri. I'll be leading you throughout today's programs as your master of ceremony. And I would like to express our sincere gratitude first over for everyone here with us today. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable time to attend in this Nextcon. Today's event is held in compliance with the government COVID-19 quarantine guidelines. So food and drinks are not permitted within the venue of today's Nextcon in accordance to the government guidelines. So we cordially ask all the participants that you have them outside of venue. Thank you so much for your understanding. As you're aware, this Startup Nextcon is the contest that encourages startups to further develop and support them into taking a leap forward into becoming unicorn businesses. So this year already marks its 10th anniversary, but unfortunately the Nextcon will be at its end with today's event, of course, this year. So, of course, there will be a birth of another stunning programs, I think, that encourage startups. So, ladies and gentlemen, as it is the last event, please give a big round of applause during the start of each pitch to make it even more meaningful. Thank you so much for attending in this Nextcon once again. And today's 10th Startup Nextcon features pitches from 10 excelling businesses participating in Baby Unicorn and post-TIPS. And this event is especially joined by representatives of global accelerators such as Teachers, Startup Bootcamp, and 500 startups and TIPS operators. So after the pitches, there will time to network with global accelerators and investors. So we ask for your full participation. There are many joining us online today as well. Thank you so much for watching this Nextcon. And please stay tuned until the very end of today's all programs. And please be advised that today's event is being recorded and will be streamed both in Korea and abroad on a later date. Thank you so much for your cooperation. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall officially start the 10th Startup Nextcon. Today, 10 businesses came here prepared with their pitches. Each company will be given a total of 10 minutes and will be composed of 7 minutes for their presentation and 3 minutes for Q&A. We would appreciate it if you could be of accordance to the time to ensure fairness. Thank you so much once again. And now it is time to introduce the first company. Before we start, I would like to ask you your understanding. We have planned to start the pitching with a company, Nuribio, but it's a little bit changed. So it is time to introduce to you the first company, MediHub. MediHub is creating an IoT smart needle that pairs with a vaccine data platform. Please be advised that. But unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, just MediHub could not join us in person today, but we are now connected live. So MediHub, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Thank you very much. I can hear you. So I believe that you are ready to give your presentation.
Yeah, I'm ready. So let me start. Okay, so hello, I am Jade Kim from MediHub, an overseas sales administrative manager. It is a pleasure to be here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce our company. MediHub aims to be a game changer in the global syringe market with our smart automatic pain-free syringes. Okay. So this is our company milestone. In 2014, MediHub was established by CEO Hyun-Chul Yam. In 2016, RMBD joint research agreement with Seoul National University Dental Hospital. In 2019, our first smart automatic pain-free syringe, iJect, is successfully launched. In 2020, MediHub Hyun signed the strategic investment and iJect domestic exclusive supply contract. Hyun is the #1 market share of anesthetic drug, lidocaine. In 2021, MediHub and Sineng signed the strategic partnership agreement. Sineng is the #1 market share of dental chair in Korea. And now we are focusing on the global market to expand our business. Have you ever hesitated to go to dental clinic? Why? More than anything, because of pain. The pain you have to endure for treatment is an enough reason to avoid dental treatment. But with MediHub, you're free from pain. Our CEO, Hyun-Chul Yum, had a lot of concerns about his children who are so afraid of dental anesthesia. Not only children, but also adults hesitate to go to dental clinic due to fear of pain from anesthesia injection. This is a chart that shows the most painful part from the anesthesia procedure. More than 50% of people answer that oral is the most painful part. This is how we start to develop a pain-free syringe for dental anesthesia. We solve this problem with our digital automatic pain-free syringe iJack. iJack has PCGT, Pain Control Golden Time 10 Seconds algorithm, which is co-developed with Seoul National University Dental Hospital. It can minimize pain with optimal inject speed, pressure, and the accurate amount of anesthetic drug. Here you see our survey report about iJack, and 83% answer is positive about dental treatment with iJack. And the most satisfying point is pain reduction of a patient. Additionally, iJack gives convenience to dentists. Dentist's most important function, aspiration, is operating automatically to prevent medical accidents. Our device is compact, light, wireless, and button press type that is easy to operate. So it can prevent dentist occupational disease, carpal tunnel syndrome. You can see these dentists review on how they feel about iJack. iJack is not only used in dental area, but also all medical area which is using local anesthesia like plastic surgery, urology, hair transplantation, and so on. The syringe market is a significantly growing market, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic situation. TAM is $115 billion, SAM is $10.7 billion, and SOM is $300 million. Our goal is taking up 1/3 of SOM, which is $100 million until 2025. Compared to the major global competitor in the automatic syringe market, iJack demonstrates strength in its compact ergonomic design and lightweight. We prepared for a long time to relieve this inconvenience of existing products, and now we are in more competitive position than others. Compared to a conventional manual syringe, it has a very similar grip, so doctors can adapt to iJack quickly. Our basic business model is B2B. In the domestic market, we made sales contract with Hyun's, which is number one market share of anesthetic drug, and Shinung, the number one market share of dental chair. And now we are focusing on the global market. Our current global distributors are as shown. We also keep bidding on the procurement service in the UN and other countries. This year, we have participated in 3 exhibitions in the USA, New York, Florida, and Germany. This year, we got registered with FDA and CE. We look forward to expanding to the USA and European markets. Our FDA and CE registration will help us enter into the other countries easily. This is our patent portfolio. 7 are registered and 22 are pending. These certify our technologies. We started with automatic syringe for dental, and now we are expanding our business field to all medical areas. Recently, we are ready to show automatic syringe for COVID-19 vaccine, local anesthesia, and urology. Soon, our filler and animal vaccine syringe will be launched. We are a team of experts with over 10 years experience from management, marketing, sales, QC, R&D, and financing. We are a passionate team that strive hard for excellence in what we do. In this growing market, we are looking for partners to share our visions. Our goal is to attract $20 million investment until 2022 in order to expand our R&D, manufacturing, facilities, and marketing. I believe your global networks and our technologies would accelerate and expand our market presence abroad. We are Medihub, aim to be a game changer in the global syringe market with our smart automatic pain-free syringes. We just passed starting line, and we should absolutely keep in touch to cross the finish line first. For more questions and discussion, don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yes, and I hope that through the Medihub's technology, there will be the less children not being able to go to the hospital because they are afraid to get injections. So now we have about 3 minutes left. Is there any questions?
Thank you for your presentation. I personally interested in this industry, so I look up some competitor who has same business model. So and I found out that there's a company who has a needleless injection, which is no needle at all. So is there differences between these two, or can you explain briefly about how your needle can work that could inject without any pain?
Actually, the needleless automatic syringe and ours are totally different for uses, because our product is for injecting the anesthetic drug inside of the mouth. But the needleless one is the depth of the injection is different, so the usage is totally different. That's why, yeah.
So you have needle, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, we have the needle, yeah.
So with the needle, is it possible for you to eliminate the pain, like you mentioned?
Actually, it's not the eliminate, but almost reduces the pain with the speed and then the pressure and the quantity of injection of the drug. So that's the algorithm we developed with the Seoul National University and the hospital. So some sensitive people feel the pain with our product, but adults don't feel the pain too much. Not too much, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for answering.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have 40 seconds. So is there any question? Maybe are all investors satisfied with your explanation? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we'd like to move on to the next stage. Our next company is ITED. ITED offers a solution for low-power transparent heating film for electric vehicles, offering a transparent heating film material, module, and glass to B2B consumers. Let us take a look at ITED's presentation. Please welcome him.
This is Chulchin Kim from ITED. Thank you for inviting us for this 넥스트콘. Many people have once experienced fogging and frosting issues. This is caused by a temperature difference between the inside and the outside. What about when you drive? It could be dangerous when the fogging happens while you drive. To solve this problem, one way is to buy a car with a fine heating line in front windshield. Some expensive car has this kind of heating line as an option, like this. This is thinner than that of rear windshield, but it's visible and sometimes scattering and reflecting light. And it consumes too much power due to inhomogeneous heating. Also, this option is very expensive. So, not many people take this option. Then, what is the conditions for those issues? Most important thing is the visibility. In other words, transparency. Also, heating characteristic, power consumption, and price are key issue. However, you cannot solve the visibility issue. It cannot be adopted in the market. So we have focused on how to heat without lines. How did we make it? We have used silver nanowire, which is 5,000 times thinner than human hair. We have mixed with our special material and spread on the substrate. Also, in order to solve optical issue, we have developed post-process technology and applied 15 patents. We have the core technology and element technology of transparent heating wire to be applied to automobile. And we are solving problems with various experience and ideas. We built a 1,200 millimeters large-scale pilot production line for transparent heated film. And we are testing various transparent heating solutions and supplying samples to many customers. Let's see the video file. This is a test video applied to our car. You can find about 3 millimeter hard frosting on the glass. Now, you see how the frosting on the whole front windshield is melting down with electricity turned on. We compressed the video, but it actually takes 5 or 6 minutes. We have passed all the reliability, durability requirements of the automobile makers. We are almost ready to enter the market, satisfying the performance, price, and durability that our customers and the market demand. We and KPMG surveyed the before market and after market in the US, Europe, Canada, and Russia, applying conservative conditions. As expected, we can bring more than 2 million units in the before market and more than 3.8 million units in the aftermarket by 2026. If we achieve our goal, we will have more than about $250 million in sales by 2026. And the profit margin will be close to 30%. We are testing this technology to be applied with global automotive vendors. We are focusing on front windshield only. However, this is applicable to sensor covers for autonomous vehicles, headlight, side mirrors, and camera modules. Of course, low power consumption is essential for electric vehicles. So our technology is invincible and usable. In addition, our technology is not just heating function, but an important element technology. We can eliminate environmental disturbance in the electric vehicle and autonomous vehicle market. This will be in the spotlight as an important technology that can remove interference with human life and safety in the future car market. For example, when it is snowing and raining and freezing, the front radar sensor cover may not function properly. Electric charging doors and pop-up handles may not open properly due to icing between the gap. Also, camera and ultrasonic sensors are all affected by the disturbance. We are a good solution to solve this problem at once. Our vision is to become a strong player in the smart film market, such as variable transmitters, discoloration, and energy harvesting. Starting with transparent heating wire using transparent explode. This market can be operated over a large scale area through combination with various functional materials. We are a technology-based startup founded in 2016. Also, there have been many trials and errors, but we have finished preparing to supply product to the market through production. This is our team. We are working hard to our dream into reality. We hope our technology can be popular solution for fogging and frosting. Furthermore, we plan to develop into a core technology for smart glasses. See the world through the transparency. This is our motto. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your introduction about technology and the company. So do we have any questions, ITED? Yes.
Hi, thank you very much for your presentation. I have two full questions. Firstly, out of that $248 million of revenue projection by 2026,
Yes.
could you provide some breakdown by different industries of application? You listed out car market, industrial usage, construction. I can see this being ubiquitously applied with multiple industries, but I don't know whether you have a general sense of which industry would offer the largest TAM or the addressable market.
We forecast the sales in the automotive market. Yeah. We have many. We think that we have many chances because premium car needs our technology in the future, near future. So we forecast $250 million sales we achieve.
So that's all from the car market?
Yes.
Only?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess the second question is in terms of the technology that you're replacing for this, I guess, a smart film market per se, what incumbent or existing technologies or competitors or competitor products are you exactly replacing? And if you can just offer some guidance in terms of the price gap. You mentioned that the cost down curve will put you in a more competitively advantageous position. I'd like to understand how much of the price advantage you have in terms of gaining market share.
Please send us by emails because I'm not the CEO of ITED. Sorry.
No problem.
Yes.
Thank you.
So any other questions? Oh, it's time's over, unfortunately. Thank you very much for your presentation. We need another big round of applause. Thank you. Yeah, things like fogging and moisture causes many discomfort in our daily life. So I look forward to seeing IT's technology relieves us from such a discomfort. Thank you so much once again for your presentation. So the business pitching following third is by Juvik. Juvik created a microneedle device that painlessly transmits drugs through the skin. Wow, quite interesting. Let us have Juvik's IR pitch. Welcome him, please. Please welcome him.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Hello, everyone. Did you get a shot for COVID-19? Nowadays, we are asking about vaccine injections after saying hello to each other. This shows that the vaccination become a huge issue. Today, as a CEO of Juvik, the microneedle drug development company, I will introduce our patch type vaccine. We already have been protected from various diseases with many kinds of vaccines. From infant to adult, vaccination is very important for human health. However, there are three big problems in vaccination field. Those are lack of production and cold chain distribution and limit of administration. During the pandemic of COVID-19, you may have heard or experienced of all these problems. Vaccines are insufficient to cover all over the globe. Its transportation is resulting in a huge cost and vaccine blind spots. And we still need more places and professionals for injections. To overcome these problems, we have developed various vaccines itself. However, the vaccination tool is staying at syringe for 180 years. Is the syringe injection is best tool for vaccination? One might be the next vaccination tool. Today, Juvik introduces microneedle as a next generation vaccination method. Microneedle is literally a small-sized needle. In addition, it dissolves in skin and absorbed within few minutes. Once a needle containing drugs penetrates into skin, it delivers the drugs as it dissolves. Usually, microneedles are applied to skin as a patch. Because of its small size, it can deliver drugs without pain or skin damage. Additionally, Juvik found that using microneedles for vaccination can open up much more potentials and benefits. First, microneedle can increase the production. As microneedle is applied on skin, which is a defensive organ filled with immune cells, it induces much powerful immune response compared to traditional injections. Therefore, with the same amount of vaccine, more people could be vaccinated. Also, microneedle has administration and distribution advantages. Compared to recent vaccines requiring cold chain, microneedles are stable even at room temperature because they are solid state. Additionally, microneedle is safe and painless. It significantly lowers the patient's repulsion, and even self-administration is available. Therefore, Juvik's microneedle has many potentials to be an optimal tool for vaccination. More people will be vaccinated easily and widely with Juvik's patch type vaccine. This slide shows how to use our product. Once you open up our package, you can apply a patch on your arm within a simple click. After 10 to 20 minutes, you can discard the patch as the vaccines are absorbed into skin. To realize this product, it's important to maintain the activity of vaccines inside the microneedles. Juvik has developed various technologies guaranteed by 84 patents. By applying these technologies to influenza vaccines, we were able to manufacture the microneedles. Our product was proven to have an efficacy by in vitro and in vivo study. We confirmed that the vaccine was stabilized 90%, which ensures the quality for pharmaceutics. And the mouse treated with our patches survived more, showing a triple dose effectiveness. We also could add some design factors to relieve the child's needle phobia. In fact, Juvik is considering the seasonal influenza vaccine as an initial market. After the influenza vaccine, we will apply our microneedle vaccine platform to various vaccines such as COVID-19, polio, hepatitis, and so on. These pipelines will be commercialized by cooperating with global organizations and big pharmas. Our team is composed of microneedle specialists. As a founder, Hyung-il Jung is a professor of Yonsei University and the world top 3 researcher of this field. We are developing microneedles from his lab almost 10 years together. As the company had founded at 2015 to transfer technology into real life and value, we have established the R&D center and GMP manufacturing site in Seoul. This enables the production and quality control of our microneedle products. Based on these assets, the first clinical trial is planned on next year. In addition, the non-clinical tests of influenza vaccine would be occupied too. With this non-clinical test data pack, we will contact the global big pharmas in next year. With the slogan, Needles for Future, Jubik aims to enforce human immunity against infectious diseases. By maximizing our technology, Jubik will minimize the medical gap on the globe. To reveal these missions, Jubik is running an education program at Yonsei University to share our experience to the university, and we can get some inspiration from them. Our vision is to build a new normal. Instead of asking about injections, we might use patch-type vaccines in the future. Thank you for listening. If you are interested in our business, please feel free to ask us any questions, or please feel free to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, we can see the new word, there is no pain with injection anyway. So Jubik's drug transmission system, what did everyone think? Investors, just feel free to ask questions. Yes.
Thank you for your presentation. I see here on your material that US and Europe are your core target markets for expansion going forward. Can I just understand who are the incumbent peers or competitor products there? What would be the competitive advantage? Or strategically, how would new Jubik address those, I suppose, competitive dynamics in those markets?
Okay, thanks for your question. And I have one feedback for your question. That do you mean that competitors on microneedle field or total vaccination tools, or which one do you mean? Both? Okay, I'll tell you both. Firstly, in microneedle field, we are specialized to stabilize our drugs into microneedle. As you can see here, because we had no much time, I really explained this simply, but it is really important to maintain the drug's activity while microneedle is manufactured to application. The x-axis is drug delivery process and y-axis is drug activity. At first, we mix the drug with polymers to make a solution, and we put it into a mold, usually, and you bake it to make them as a solid state. And finally, you put them onto the skin. Yeah, those 3 steps are essential for the microneedle. The first step, it reduces the drug activity. You don't have any formulation technologies. And the second, usually they use a mold, so they use heats on them. So biopharmaceutics are almost every biopharmaceutics are degraded by those heat. But Jubik can produce microneedles within refrigerated and vacuum condition, which is really good for biopharmaceutics. That's our competitive point. And finally, the last one is skin elasticity. The microneedle is really hard to penetrate the skin because skin is really elastic. We have some applicators to overcome that elasticity within only 3 parts of our product. We call it one-touch applicator, but we have some simple and easy applicator. I already explained that we can apply our patch within a simple click. That is our competition point in this our microneedle field. Secondly, compared to other vaccination tools, this is our three big difference from others. First, we can save many dosages because we apply vaccines into skin, as already I told you, and we can transport our products in real temperature, which reduces the vaccine application cost almost half of it. And we can reduce the limitation of professionalism or places which vaccine is used. So, in fact, in US, one company tried to apply this microneedle patch vaccine by patients themselves. And it worked as same as the professionals. It is already proven. So already in US, they are trying to send the vaccines into home and they apply them themselves. So this is why microneedle is, the vaccine is key target market for microneedle players.
Thank you so much for your replies. The time's over, I'm afraid. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And I hope that Jubik will be able to make a bigger success through this meeting. Thank you very much once again. We are already at our fourth business pitch. Our first company is Nail Technology. Nail Technology is the first company in Korea to establish a mass production facility of the next generation nanomaterial BNT. So let us see their presentation right away. Please welcome Nail Technology.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm not quite for sure how many of you are aware of boron nanotubes. Probably not many. How about carbon nanotubes? I think this material is one of the most important nanomaterials in human history. No doubt about that. However, BNT is superior in material standpoint, material properties, and industrial application feasibility. So if you look at this diagram, you can name it, I can find it. We can use this material everywhere: IT, IoT, energy, environment, space, defense, biomedical. So BNT outperforms carbon nanotube. British Royal Society of Chemistry article says that British BNT outperforms CNTs. For CNT, currently about $1 billion. So it projects about $3 billion after 10 years from now on. After the mass production for CNT is available from mid-2000, the market growth very fastly. But about 10 years, CNT was struggled because people couldn't find a value-added application for that. However, these days, lithium-ion battery survive this CNT. Electromobility in anode and cathode, the CNT is very important material. So the market is growing up. But BNT, we know what the problem was for CNT. So we can escape 10 years of struggle. So after the first phase of growth, we can make a new growth phase directly. That's what I'm thinking. And what about the future for BNT? So there is no exact market report for BNT. So I searched a number of publications from Google. CNT number of articles is decreasing from 2015. However, BNT publications is exponentially increasing. And there are many market reports for that. So it projected $21 million 2026. But I'm not quite for sure this number is quite right or not. So what does the future hold for BNT then? I'm sure it's there. And what is the critical problem for BNT then? I think the mass production is a key critical problem for BNT. So because it is not successful yet. NASA, they are doing this material transfer, and also MIT and New Hampshire, and the Berkeley-based Epi Advanced Material, Tecna, Canadian National Research Council. All these companies are not possible to produce mass quantity of BNT. Australian BNT technology, they are doing best, as far as I know. They claim 1 kilogram per week production. I think they claim 1 kilogram before purification from our reactor, except their technology. We have a innovation and uniqueness. Have you seen this type of a precursor for nanomaterial synthesis? No. This is the first time in the world. This is a precursor for BNT synthesis. After reaction, if you cut it down, even inside, we can grow nanotubes, even inside. So currently, we can produce 2 kilograms per week of BNT product with a $0.2 million worth small pilot systems, while the others say grams with $1 million system. That's the systems we are using. In addition to this BNT synthesis, we also have a achievement in separators. Single-layered, not ceramic-coated membrane. The material property is high, much better than the ceramic-coated membrane, and even cheaper. And we can use it in lithium sulfur, lithium air, lithium metal, advanced lithium batteries, even for POM FC as a MEA material. And also we use this material for solid electrolyte, polymer-based solid electrolyte. The CNT flows electron very fastly. However, lithium-ion must flow fastly, as much as fast, like a electron. So BNT works for that. This is our membrane. And the key point is BNT must align vertically in between anode and cathode to flow lithium ions very fastly. And thermal stability, thermal conductivity, and even lithium dendrite inhibition. Also, for lithium sulfur battery, Australian company, LIS Energy, they developing that LIS lithium sulfur battery based on BNT, and they are successfully IPO'd a couple of months ago. And market capitalization is currently more than $1 billion for now. And without BNT, polymer solid electrolyte is 10 to the minus 6 conductivity. Liquid electrolyte with commercial cell guard separator is about 0.73 millias per centimeters. Currently, ours is 1.1 millias per centimeters. And thermal stability enhances 3 times. So we want to apply this polymer electrolyte into a all-solid state battery. And also, there are a lot of applications for BNT, even for pellicle. CNT is used for pellicle, but the BNT is much better for pellicle membrane. And we secured more than 37 patents, files, and registers, and papers. And we are located in Daejeon, Korea. And I was a researcher for Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute. And I have been working on this material many years. And this is the company history, so I will skip it. And revenue, so far, investment, R&D funding, around $3 million each, around, during the last 6 years period. And BNT sales is about $500,000, not much, but it's increasing year by year, every year. This is our projection for that. So we need a $2.5 million for production capacity, QA, QC, R&Ds, business development, and HR to be a Nextcon, to make that sales realistic. And these are team members. I'm Dr. Jae Kim here, and there are 4 PhDs, 4 MS, and 5 BS, and 3 technicians for BNT productions. And why nanotechnology? BNT's huge potential for the industrial application outperforms CNT, that's for sure. And we are global #1 in BNT production. We have innovation and suitable for global business, IPO, M&A, or global stock market, you know. And our sales, more than 80% goes to abroad. So please join us. It won't be long to be a 넥스트콘. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any question or comment, I'll be happy to share them.
Thank you very much for your participation. So is there any questions? I'm curious as to how the investors thought of this company. Of course, I've never seen the precursors for BNT synthesis. So any question? Yep, please.
Could you please elaborate on how difficult it is to go from that 1 kilogram per week of production to your, I guess, as current standard or the performance of 2 kilogram per week of production? Obviously, that's almost double, and obviously it was one of the key selling points or the advantages, I suppose. I wonder
compared to Australian company?
Right.
Okay.
So I wonder how difficult it is to get to your company level. I just want to understand sort of your stature as and from a competitive dynamic perspective.
All right, okay. NASA and Canadian, they are using gaseous reaction based on laser and plasma. So their production capacity can be higher than gram per day. It's very difficult. Much energy they need. 5,000 Celsius degree, even 7,000 Celsius degree. And the facility is very expensive. But Australian company and we use a thermal annealing process. We use a furnace, very cheap. But Australian, they use a different precursors. They coat it on the substrate. We have a freestanding bulky precursors. So they claim 1 kilogram per week. I think that is a just production out of reactor before purification. But we saying after purification, 2 kilogram. So we can easily up to 1 ton per year production with this investment. That's our innovation precursors. Very, you never seen that type of precursors for nanomaterial synthesis so far. That's the key point. Even 100 tons are possible if we add more system and we build bigger system.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I think you just mentioned that with the BNT material, it could be applied to the lithium-ion batteries. I guess there's many components in it, and so which part you like to replace with the BNT, and how, in terms of a battery maker, what advantage they could get with that change?
All right. I just presented a polymer-based solid electrolyte. Polymer-based. The bottleneck for polymer electrolyte is a room temperature ion conductivity is too low because it is solid. So the BNT can enhance the flow of a lithium ion. Because we know why, that's a physics and chemistry. So if you are interested in that, so we can talk about later. So if we install the BNT in the polymer electrolyte, then lithium ion can flow freely from anode to cathode, freely exchangeable. So that's our key point. At the room temperature, ion conductivity is comparable with the currently available liquid electrolyte. I just showed a 0.73 milliamps per centimeters with a cell guard membrane, even higher than. So that's we are making a kind of solution for solid state electrolyte. So that's the key point we are presenting based on BNNT. You know, CNT works at each side, anode and cathode. Electron must be flow very fastly in the electrode. However, CNT cannot be used in the middle. Must be insulator. BNNT is an insulator, not electron. Lithium ion can flow very fastly with BNNT. That's why BNNT works in the middle. Separator and also electrolyte. If you have some more questions, we can talk about later.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. We are now running out of time. We would like to wrap up your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I've heard that Nate Technology not only puts in great effort in new nano materials, but it also developed core components for next generation secondary batteries. So I look forward to its venture. Thank you so much for your presentation. And 넥스트콘 is progressing in fast pace, so we shall now introduce our fifth business pitch. It is by Adriel. Adriel runs ADOPS, a marketing, managing, and collaboration platform. Let us head straight into Adriel's presentation. Would you please start?
Hello, I'm Sophie, CEO and co-founder of Adriel. If you're looking for global SaaS, B2B SaaS startup from Korea, Adriel is one of only few startups who can fall into that category. So we're providing a marketing data dashboard for brands and agencies, small brands or multinational corporations. We call it AdOps because it's not just a mere dashboard, but it's a dashboard where you can actually take actions. And that's what makes us very differentiated from our competitors. I'll explain a bit more. And thanks to our product that has been attracting more than 5,500 businesses around the world, our net revenue has been growing 2.5x every year over 3 consecutive years. So we're currently raising our Series B. The amount that we are raising is about $15 million, 150억 원. So we're actively communicating with investors. So this IR deck is the deck we're sharing with those investors. So it's kind of heavy, so I'm going to jump quite quickly. So 3 big reasons why Adriel is a good investment. It's a huge market. We're talking about 150 billion plus global market, which is growing at a double-digit rate. I'm not talking about the total digital marketing space, but I'm talking only about MarTech space. Our product. So just before I go through my presentation, some people who know Moloko, they often compare Moloko to Adriel because that's one of the few very successful ad tech companies. So if you categorize Adriel as an ad tech company, you might be confused. Like, oh, this doesn't really seem to be like Moloko. So ad tech is pretty. I think it's understood in Korea by Korean investors, especially. It's understood kind of in a narrow way. But we're targeting more of a larger MarTech space, and we're more of a business intelligence tool. Just wanted to give you the right context before I start. All these things could have been achieved thanks to our great team, which is really international. We're about 47 people. Half of them are engineers, making our platform worldwide competitive. So the problem that we're solving is that it stems from the fact that digital marketing is now becoming a main media for all businesses. It's no longer TV commercial or outdoor media. It's now digital marketing that's the main media that all businesses are utilizing. And often a big rapid growth means chaos. A lot of marketers are complaining about the level of data integration and aggregation. They don't have the real-time data. It's hard to access everything in one place. collaboration is becoming more and more difficult. So they're utilizing a lot of data from different sources, but it's hard to have one clear visibility over all digital campaigns that they're running. That is why among many different areas of MarTech, the data part is growing most rapidly. So the problem we're trying to solve is what we hear from many different companies in many different markets. For example, we're talking with AMD. It's a chip computer processor company, but they're also heavily investing their B2C digital marketing. And we once had a meeting with them. It's a Singapore regional office of AMD, and there were like literally 20 people in the Zoom call saying that, the data is all over the place and they don't know what's going on. But still, they're spending a lot, so they want to have this dashboard, and we're the right product, so they're very happy to have Adriel, the go-to platform for next generation digital marketers. So our product starts from the point where we allow our users to easily integrate their digital marketing data, Google Analytics, Google Ads, Facebook Ads, all the social media. So we're currently connected with more than 30 different data sources, and we pull everything in real time, centralize everything, provide easy collaboration platform, because they can also invite their agencies. Even like finance team is invited to see like how much they've been spending to generate how much revenues. And as I said, it's not just a dashboard where they can see numbers, it's also a dashboard where we allow users to take actions so they can optimize the budget allocation between different platforms. So it's not just about time saving, it's really about how they can better strategize, how they can improve their ROI. I'll skip this part a bit. So talking a little bit more about our business model. So there are companies who use our dashboard only, bigger companies, and they subscribe to our dashboard solution. And usually they do a yearly subscription. The price is about, on average, 25K a year. And some small businesses, they also use ad launcher. And in that case, instead of just charging them a few $100, we put a markup fee on the ad spend that they want to spend through our ad launcher. And on average, we charge about $1,000 a month. So that's also pretty big. And with that business model, our net revenue has been growing. So the gross sales includes a media fee part. So what's important is the net revenue. That's the real service fee part that we receive. And now we are closing this year nearly with the $2 million revenue. And with our current monthly recurring revenue, next year, even without any growth, we'll be able to have $3.6 million as our net revenue. So I'm confident that we can generate more than 5 million net revenue next year, especially because we have a lot of good seed customers from outside of Korea. Yeah, we are talking with Sony. We also talk with Starbucks. Very, very positive. Also Gap and Banana Republic, all those fashion brands, they have the same problem. Actually, Chanel and Bucket Place, 오늘의 집, and Weisberg, they already moved to paying clients this month. So we're pretty hot in the market. Time's running. Talking a little bit about competitors, because I'm sure your question will be about that. In Korea, we don't have a direct competitor. But in Europe and in the US, we have Datorama, Supermetrics, Funnel.io, all these data aggregator plus dashboard. They're all like business intelligence solutions. The big difference between those competitors and Adriel is that we are real time. Because we're connected to all those data sources, server to server, whereas our competitors, they do more like a scheduled update, and that's why users cannot take actions on those dashboards. So yeah, we have great traction in Korea and also in the US. In Singapore, we're actively building sales team, running a lot of marketing. So that's why we're confident that we'll have a really nice J curve in the next coming years. Yeah, so our team, I'm actually, this is our second company. Olivia and I, we're a married couple. We already built SolidWare, much more deep tech AI predictive analysis solution, and it was acquired by Daily Financial Group at that time. And Olivier is a great machine learning scientist and engineer. He did his postdoc at CMU. I was also listed in Forbes 30 under 30 Asia in 2017 for what I did for SolidWare. Yeah, so we know how to build a team. We know the drills. Great sales leadership team. They have a great plan to expand further our sales pipeline in the US and also in Singapore, in Europe. And all this thing was possible thanks to our great team from KAIST, SNU, and University of Oslo. Great back-end and front-end engineers and also dev team. Yeah, only 45 seconds left, but actually I'm raising at the point, so I try to predict your questions in advance.
Yes, yes.
But still, if you have any question, 한국말로도 궁금하신 거 있으시면.
Yes, we'd like to.
Yeah, thank you.
I was wondering, I have two questions. What the current revenue and billings breakdown is between platform and services. And second, your current average LTV for your customers, as well as any net or gross retention rates that you currently know.
Yeah, I don't think I can answer to all that within several seconds, but just I can open the data room if you're interested. All numbers are in our data room. Just to simplify my answer, I misused the words. I actually updated my deck because I think this term service creates misunderstanding. So this is basically, both are platforms, because here we use service because we put markup fee, and usually service providers, they put markup fee, but there's no human resource attached. It's 90% self-serving. So our users just launch using our platform, and then we just charge automatically. So there's no service attached. I don't know why I put that word here. So this is also a platform. Still, I would say that the only difference is how we charge. So our charging scheme is different. It's the same platform.
Then would you say the platform and the services is both recurring, subscription-based?
It's recurring. It's recurring, but people also, so small businesses who use our launcher plus dashboard and who pay markup, those who leave our platform, only 0.5%. But they launch their campaign and then they stop and then they relaunch the campaign. So it's hard to calculate exact churn because it's not like a monthly subscription, but it's usually recurring. So this is what we launched since 2019. And this model, we launched it, we opened this kind of pricing scheme this year. So the current revenue breakdown is mostly this one, but this one will grow much, much more. It's just because enterprises wanted to use dashboard only, but they spend millions of dollars a month, and we cannot charge 10% markup on million. That just wouldn't make sense. But it's just how the pricing scheme is different.
Sure, got it. Do you have a sense of your current MRR at the moment?
Yeah, to 2.6억.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.7억. Yeah.
Okay. Is it safe to assume month-over-month growth is above 7 to 10% MRR growth?
Yeah, especially in November, December, we had huge growth. Yeah.
Okay.
Also thanks to enterprises subscribing.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. As there are areas to add up, so I hope that we can solve the fundamental problems of the digital, fundamental issues of the digital advertisement. Thank you very much once again for your presentation. And continuing on, let us have our sixth business pitch. The sixth business pitch is by Adam Luce. Adam Luce ultimates its vision as therapy technology through a device, so creating healthcare products that can check and improve eyesight. So let us dive into the IR pitch. Let's please start.
Hi, my name is Sai from Adam Luce. I'm the CEO of the company. So we were founded in 2016 with Korean medical doctors and technical engineers, and we are making a wearable device that actually can treat eye diseases. So our slogan is "For Your Vision," and we've been invested about $6.5 million investment, and we sold about 10,000 units this year, and we'll get the FDA approval by the 2023. So before I talk about the product, then I'm going to tell you a little story about how I started this business. I was previously a medical doctor in South Korea, and when I was worked as a medic in the military, I got an eye accident. I figured out that our eyes are actually composed of many muscle tissues, and when this muscle gets damaged, our eyesight gets worse. I've done the 5 years of R&D and found out a technology that actually can treat my eyes. And I realized that this technology actually can solve the problem that all people have nowadays, which is too much use of the smartphones. The smartphone use is actually causing two types of eye diseases, which is myopia and presbyopia. So this graph shows that the increasing ratio of the myopia in the global world, and by the 2050, about half of the global people will have myopia. And the fast-growing increase of the ratio is because of the too much use of the smartphones. And unfortunately, South Korea is the #1 country that has the highest myopia ratio, and this country is a very good country that actually do the R&D process in this field. So we developed a product named Audis. It's a personal vision training device. It composed with hardware and software. So as I told you before, that actually our eyes are composed of many muscle tissues. And there is a very special muscle called the ciliary muscle. It holds the crystal lens in our eye. So when we are looking at a close distance, this muscle gets contracted and all the spasm and all eye problems happens in this muscle. So when we are young, this muscle has enough power to get a good focal point. However, as we get older, and if we use too much use of the smartphone, this muscle gets weaker and weaker, and we get eye problems. So we are using an optical technology to stimulate this ciliary muscle. So by inducing the contraction and relaxation of our eye muscle. So by repeatedly contracting and relaxing this eye muscle, we can get a good focal point, which means that we get a better vision. So there are actually two refractions occurring when the light comes into our eyes. The first refraction occurs in the cornea of our eye, and the second refraction occurs in the crystal lens. We all know that the correction of the first refraction is LASIK surgery, and we are focusing on the second refraction, which is called vision therapy, and we are correcting the second refraction to get a better vision. So this is the actual look of our device. There are 10 lenses inside, and it automatically runs through the programs. And this is how you look at inside the device. It automatically focuses and trains the eye muscle when the lenses rotate. So when the user wears the device, the test mode runs and checks the right eye and the left eye data. And we analyze the data in our server, and we provide a personalized vision training program to the device. So we've done the 60 people of the clinical trials in the 3 months, and all the clinical values, that accommodation, addition power, and CPM has been approved better than the baseline. So we have 3 pipelines in the medical device field, which is presbyopia and strabismus and myopia. And we'll get the KFDA by the next year and in the presbyopia. And we have plans to get the FDA and the CE approvals in the 2023. And we also made the wellness product, healthcare product. Brand name is Otis. We launched this product last year, and we sold about 10,000 units, and $2 million US dollar revenue has been achieved this year. So we have 33 patents globally, and most of them are registered right now. And we've done the crowdfunding in Korea, and about 1,200 units have been sold in the first crowdfunding, and second crowdfunding was about 1,500 units. And in Japanese market, we sold about 2,500 units. And in Taiwanese market, we sold about 800 units. So we've got invested from #1 venture capital in South Korea, which is Korea Investment Partners. And we have been invested about 6 from the 6 venture capitals. And we are now in the Series B round, and the Korea Development Bank and the Korea Investment Partners are going to participate in this round. And we're also looking for another venture capitals to participate in this round. So we've attended in 2020 K Startup. It's the biggest competition of the startups in Korea, and we've got awards from the Commissioner of the Korean Intellectual Property Office, and also from the awards from the Minister of Education. So the healthcare industry is booming up right now. However, there is no product for our eyes yet, so we think we can make a new and global markets here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for the introduction of your product. We have about 3 minutes, so we open up the floors for the question. Any question? Yes, I have to be always under the spotlight, so my eyes always be tired. So I would like to try out the products. Any questions here? No? Maybe we have 2 minutes, 40 seconds left. So any content you would like to deliver to investors?
Actually, no.
No? Okay. Thank you so much. We would like to wrap up this presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you. So now we'd like to move on to the next presentation. This company will be Hodl Labs. Hodl Labs is an edutech company that operates game-based English-speaking education programs, live online classes, and more. So please greet Hodl Labs to the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Saniri from Hodl Labs, and I'm very honored to be here today. So let me get started with my presentation. Depending on how long ago you left school, your learning experience might have looked like these 3 scenarios. While technology has become more prevalent in schools, there has been very little innovation in terms of online learning. Why has so little changed? What are the obstacles that are in the way? Research says that because of high human dependency of education, and actually, education field is not that attractive to the high-level IT expert. From now on, how Hodl Labs make this innovation possible? First of all, we have great leaders who understand both IT and education. Our CEO, Kim Min-woo, is an AI-based learning expert. And our CTO, Jung Jun-myung, is a game expert, and he is called super developer. And plus, we have 80 in-house experts who can develop and operate related content, games, and the overall platform. With this great asset in the team, now we are presenting two amazing products to global learners, which are Betia English and Betia Square as a metaverse. Let me tell you Betia English first. Betia English is a game-based English speaking learning program. And it is very different with other educational content because normally other educational content is developed by education experts, but Betia English is developed by game experts and education experts. And it is perfect for mobile environments, so it just requires only 153 megabytes to start to play. And it is used by our own stable voice recognition system. And this is really perfect for practicing actual English speaking. And it uses all proven English content, and it provides 308 authentic situations to practice speaking English. And then the children can have 3,852 chances to have conversations with characters in the Betia world. And then we provide various English learning activities such as tracing and writing, fill in the blank, and games, etc., etc. So let me show you a quick video of Betia English so you can see and feel how amazing it is. Let's take a look. This is the intro of learning, so students will know what they learned today, and this is the speaking practice part. And our voice recognition system can define the student speak correctly or not. And then this is the speaking activities. We provide various of speaking activities. And this is a better system to review. So we provide not only speaking skill, but also other language skills such as listening, grammar, vocabulary, writing, and etc., etc. So students can acquire not only speaking skill, but other language skill. And this is a better system, and kids really, really love it. This is amazing, isn't it? No? No answer. So some of you might think, oh, I should have learned English that way. Am I right? So with our technologies, Betia English can be localized in everywhere. So subtitle and guide can be changed into any other languages, such as French, Spanish, German, and Italian. And the target of Betia English is to ensure 500K users globally by 2025. And now I'm going to tell you about what Hodu Metaverse is. We already have a lot of 3D game resources. We have over 300 3D game characters, and we have 80 villages, and we have over 4,000 situations. With these 3D game resources, the different services will be integrated into our metaverse world. And our metaverse world will be called the Betia Square. So in the Betia Square, we will offer our diverse services, such as English content, and reading content, and computer programming content. And then we will evolve into a digital platform through the plugin of third-party services. We're sure that the game can help the kids to engage, learn, and grow. So now we are ready to serve our products to the global learners. And this round of funding will be used for expanding global marketing and then localizing our products. So we really want to hope to work with great investors who seek not only profit, but also meaningful impacts to the world. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your intriguing presentation. So we open up the floors for the question. Is there any question? Yes, please.
I'm not used to the children education platform, so this could be some rudimentary question, but is it more subscription-based or a one-time payment fee for the kids to onboard?
Oh, we have a different types of payment. So we have a subscribe model and a one-time model.
Do you have a sense of the breakdown from a recurring and a transactional payment?
Oh, actually, I'm a English content developer, so about your question, we will email you because
Sure.
the specialist will email you. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can, if you want to play with our program, you can play it. So I prepare out there.
Do you know how internally you guys define TAM? Because I would imagine there would be a natural ceiling to your total addressable market with the kids growing up and whatnot. So do you have a sense of what you guys are defining as TAM, current, and with the funding, how you might expand your TAM?
I'm really apologize about your question because as I told you before, I just am a content developer. So our specialist will answer you.
Sure.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your response. And we have the 3 minutes left. So any questions? Yes.
Hi. You said you can just change very easily to another language. Knowing slightly about that area, it's actually not that easy usually. So do you know how long it would take to transfer some content and everything related to grammar and exercise to another language?
First of all, I have to check the developer, but I heard from that it just is very short time. It takes very short time, like in a week, maybe.
So any other questions here? So all participants here, investors, are satisfied with the explanation? Yes, it seems to be. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you. And I hope that Hot Lab's video learning solution technology made me look forward to being able to learn English even easier. Thank you so much for the presentation. And now we'd like to move on to the next presentation by Nature Glutech. Nature Glutech is commercializing a facelit, a skin adhesive based on muscle adhesive protein material and a formulation after receiving the approval to do so. So it is quite a difficult technology for me anyway. So would you please start your presentation?
Okay, thank you for your kind introductions. It sounds like a little complicated, but anyway. I'm from the Nature Glutech as the technical advisor. And currently I'm the assistant professor at Ewha Women's University. So Nature Glutech is the biotech company is developing very kind of innovative kind of medical bioadhesives by using the muscle adhesive proteins. So as we know that the muscles that can attach onto the surface of the rocks, even though in water or underwater kind of conditions, by kind of secreting that kind of the protein glue and from their pit. So that is that idea that we can get and developing that muscle-inspired kind of bioglue for biomedical applications. And actually, but the limited kind of resources of that muscle adhesive protein naturally kind of extracted from the muscles. So we have at the core kind of that the technology or strategy to develop a mass production of the muscle adhesive proteins by using that the bacterial expression system. So based on that, not only that of the mass production of the proteins, but also we have that capability of the formulating that this kind of the very kind of unique the adhesive proteins into the many different formulations and many different the platforms for many diverse kind of biomedical applications. So basically, by using that core the technology, we are just in the process of commercializing the items in 3 different kind of main kind of the product the pipelines based on that in the different fields like a soft tissue such as using the skin adhesive, and then we can working on the hard tissue such as like a bone substitute or bone cement. And also we are working on the platform adhesive, which is kind of the functional kind of adhesive the platform for the delivery of the therapeutic drugs or cells and many different therapeutic molecules. And the first item that we are commercializing in the Nature Glutech is that skin adhesive. We call that as a fixed light. So basically, after surgery, all that epidermis and dermis layer, and also the subcutaneous fat, need to be very securely kind of the sutured, which requires that so much of the extensive kind of the surgical procedure and time and energy. So there are certain kind of the commercially available skin kind of adhesive, but the use of that is very limited because of the toxicity, because only we can apply that epidermis layer, but we cannot apply onto that the dermis layer because of the toxicity of the materials. But the fixed light that the skin bioadhesives can be applied onto the both epidermis and the dermis layer because it has a great the biocompatibility, and also we have a very great biodegradability because it's made of the proteins. And also it has a great kind of the excellent adhesive strength, and also it's very easy to use. And it's regardless of the user skill level, so we can use that, make it kind of shorten the operation time, and also it's minimizing scars by using that kind of fixed light. So basically, the skin adhesive the light is that the protein-based kind of bioadhesives approved for the soft tissue, mainly in the epidermis layer, but we can apply onto the much deeper kind of layers of the skins. And it has a much more the advantage over the conventional methods is with a very great kind of the adhesion strength. And also it has a very improved aesthetic kind of the function with minimizing scars. And also it has a very flexibility of the skin tissue when it's applied onto the area. So it's compared to that kind of the commercially available kind of Dermabond, which is a kind of chemical-based kind of the glue. We have a much better kind of flexibility. And so we are just now got the IND approval in this last September, and the clinical trial is scheduled at the end of the next year. So with the core, the major hospitals. And then after that, as a clinical trial, we're just planning to secure that the product, the sales, by using the three different, the core, the major, the hospitals. And then we are just working on the expansion onto the even bigger kind of the major kind of hospitals by using the post-marketing clinical trials. And then, of course, we have a plan for the global market, and we are just trying to develop the sales kind of channels by using many different distributors, and also we can do the license out with that the big kind of bio vendors, which has their own kind of sales, kind of the networks and everything. So actually, the first target of the market is a skin, the adhesive fixed light is a topical tissue adhesive, which has like a $0.5 billion in global market size. And also, as I mentioned a little bit about before, the fixed light can be very easily expandable into the many different the field and many different applications. So we can be used for the substitute for the staples and many different sutures and surgical sealant. So we can expand into the many different area. So and then in that the topical tissue and adhesive, we anticipate that we can achieve that around like $23 million by the 2026. And also after that, so we continue to developing the next generation of that. The bioglue by using a surgical sealant, especially for the internal organs, and also bone substitute for the complex and the comminuted kind of fractures, and also the functional, the kind of the glue part as like joint cavity injection kind of models as well too, by using stem cells. And the long-term kind of the commercialization, the plan include that developing the topical stem cell carrier by using our MAP, and then antibiotics, adhesive, and also topical anti-cancer drugs, mainly focusing on the just on-site delivery of the local delivery of the drug or the stem cells. So this is kind of summary of our product portfolio. So we are just starting from the skin adhesive kind of fixed light, and then we can go into the hard tissues and then platform kind of adhesive to developing more products. And also this is a pipeline and a roadmap. So starting from the skin adhesive, we believe that's maybe in 2023, the product could be commercialized in the market, and then we can start following that the midterm and the long term. Kind of the pipelines of the development. Also, we can believe that's a grow up to like a $105 million by the 2026, because it will be able to reach that break-even point in 2024. And because we are just producing raw material by ourselves, so manufacturing kind of the cost is very low, so very kind of high profitability can be very easily anticipated. And our company is established in 2015, and through that investment, we will be able to build that GMP kind of the facility. And also we have a FDA approved animal testing facility as well. So we are just keep on that expanding our facility as well. And then we have a lot of the technical manpower, is essentially for kind of advisory boards, and also for the co-developer, as mainly the medical doctors. And also we have many of the staff is working on that, developing as many different bioglues. So also we have obtained all that necessary rights, which can be with extensive, exclusive the license transfer from the POSTEC is mainly this for the formulations and materials from the POSTEC, but we all that received all the rights from that. And also this nature glue tag is to treat the people with a muscle kind of material. Basically it's a protein-based kind of materials. So we can work on that, protect the human happiness, and also for that many different kind of health-related the problems. So we are just expanding that these medical devices first, and then hopefully we can expand it more to the pharmaceutical company with developing a regenerative medicine based upon our raw material of the MAP. So thank you so much for your attention. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Yes, so we have 30 seconds left, but we'd like to have questions. So any questions here? We open up the floor? Maybe not. Everybody's satisfied with the presentation, I think. Great. We'd like to wrap up the presentation. Thank you very much once again. Thank you. So we've watched the presentation by Nature Glutech with the excellent technology. And yes, so we are now watching the startup 넥스트콘 2021. We are meeting enterprises changing the world with the new technology. So our next business pitch is by NuriBio. NuriBio offers the cancer diagnosis service using a genetic analytic platform, PROMA, utilizing a proprietary technology. So please introduce the technology and company.
So liquid biopsy-based diagnostics is leading a paradigm shift. And so we believe that treatment is shifting from universal to more focused towards personalized treatment, mainly in the precision medicine area. And so liquid biopsy can be used in many different areas in diseases to actually optimize treatment for patients. And so we believe that liquid biopsy can be adapted towards cancer in terms of screening, prognosis, and monitoring. And so we can cover the full spectrum of the whole treatment process. And so we're targeting lung, pancreatic, and colon, and gastric cancer, mainly because most of these diseases are diagnosed in later stages, in third or fourth stage, which vastly decreases the quality of life for patients. And so by screening early, we can improve more and provide more for these individual patients, not only for treatment, but also diagnostics. And so as you can see in cancer incidence and mortality rates, lung cancer and pancreas cancer is one of the leading causes of deaths. And so we believe that microRNA, a novel biomarker in this area, can be used for screening of cancer in earlier stages. And so the application area can not only be applied to cancer, but also other areas of diseases. And so we are working in this area, but not only microRNA, but also point mutation, which is which is a mutation in the DNA of the humans. And so KRAS mutation is an example of a point mutation where we are focusing on. And as you can see, it's fairly present in a lot of areas of the diseases that we're targeting, mainly lung, colon, and pancreas cancer. And in the case of pancreas cancer, over 90% of cases include this KRAS mutation. And so with these considered biomarkers, we think that screening and prognosis and monitoring of patients will be possible in the future using liquid biopsy, plasma samples, and blood samples. And so our market position is uniquely positioned within the microRNA and also the DNA detection of DNA positions in human samples. And so our Promer technology, which is a combination, actually a unique and proprietary technology, actually works towards more efficiency and cost effectiveness with existing methods, such as the TaqMan method, as you can see. So the primer and the probe is used to detect the specific mutations on the human DNA. And so our technology combines the functions of both entities into one step, making it more accurate and more cost effective. And so compared to this TaqMan method, we've vastly increased convenience, but also specific detection, meaning that we can detect more accurately diseases. And one of the most important causes of our technology is multiplex, meaning that we can screen for various different mutations in a single test. And so, as I mentioned before, Promer technology is optimized to detect microRNA. And in the case of isoforms, microRNA can be very similar in sequences to each other. And so distinguishing between these various isoforms is very important in this technology. And so our Promer can actually distinguish with 100% rate between similar isoforms of a single microRNA. And as you can see on our in-house tests, we've actually screened for several different microRNAs in a single test, and then we can actually detect different microRNAs in like a single well, which is very difficult with current technology. And also on the test number 3, we can do subtype discrimination, as I mentioned before. And so by using this technology, we've actually adapted it to a small-scale preclinical trial with Seoul National University with 30 patients and 30 normal samples. And we've achieved about a 91% accuracy in detecting lung cancer using the microRNA targets that we found. And we've expanded this into pancreatic cancer. And in this preclinical trial, we used 54 cancer patients and 53 normal samples. And in sensitivity, we've achieved 98%, which means that we're more accurate with smaller samples in the human plasma. Specificity meaning that we can specifically target patients with pancreatic cancer. And so, due to the ongoing pandemic, I'm sure everybody in here have heard about the qPCR machine. We can actually use our reagents in the PCR machine to achieve clinically valid data, which is 0.1% accuracy that's needed. And you've heard about NGS machines, which is really popular right now, but it requires really immense amounts of money to actually put the machine into the hospital, and also the need for specialized employees to run the machine. Whereas the PCR machine is widely used in hospitals and institutions. Around more than 89% of the market already uses the PCR machine, so our reagents can already be adapted to the market. And so with this ctDNA plus microRNA approach, we think that not only diagnostics, but also screening and monitoring of the cancer treatment process can be covered through our technology. And so this is a couple of our clinical trials that is currently ongoing with hospitals in Korea. Also, we have a trial going on with Johns Hopkins School of Medicine in the US. And we're also looking for partners in the EU to further increase our accuracy. And the market opportunity for this is huge. We believe that not only diagnostics and liquid biopsy, but as I mentioned before, prognosis, which is also a very heavy part in the cancer treatment process, can be also targeted. And also with companion diagnostics being another trend for pharmaceutical companies, we believe that we can match our diagnostic method with newly developed cancer treatments. And so our business model mainly focuses on not only kit sales, like pancreatic cancer detection using microRNA or point mutation kit sales, but also we license out our technology because it's proprietary and we own everything part of it related to the technology. And so in one case, we've also have a licensing deal with a company in Korea called Clinomics, and we're also doing joint research and development with gastric cancer kits. Our technology also can be adapted to the very hot topic of the pandemic, COVID-19, and so we also have a research kit and we're looking to get FDA approval for it. And so we believe that we can expand our revenue in the future, not only through sales of kits, but also genetic services and also to provide testing services through CLIA labs in the US. So thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation. So we'll open up the floor for the question. So is there any question? I'll continue to on the NuriBio for changing the world with universal medical service. Yes, so we have.
Sorry, that might have been already in the presentation, but what is your status for FDA or CE regulation approval?
For FDA and CE, we're actually doing preclinical trials, but we have to move on to clinical trials. In the case for diagnostics, we only need just one phase of trials. And so we think that we're looking for partners in the EU for the CE mark. Minimum maybe 2 years before we can actually receive the FDA and CE approval. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I believe we have gentlemen that have the question.
Thank you for your presentation. I think the main point of the product of NuriBio is it could pre-diagnose the cancer of patients. So, and I found out that you conduct some experiment as well. So based on the many statistic data you have, was it possible for you to, I mean, my question is, how early you can recognize the cancer at the point where the patient actually get it? I mean, is it possible? I mean, how early you could?
So basically, with the microRNA targets, we think that it can be used as a screening process. And so for patients, it can't be actually used as the diagnostics, but just it helps to screen patients to actually notice if they have some kind of like danger level. And so with microRNA, we believe that we can do it in probably first stage of
it's
cancer.
It's like a filter, right? It's like a filter.
Yes. And so just using the point mutation, which is being currently used right now in hospitals, it's really difficult to detect cancer earlier because the amount of the tumor cells and the tumor DNA in the body is too low. And so that's why we think microRNA is the next novel biomarker for earlier screening.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your response, and time's over. Thank you so much. We'd like to wrap up the presentation. Thank you. Thank you very much once again, and we have been together for a long run, and the wait was just as long. The 10th final company is Asian Global. Asian Global operates the Credit Connect, an AI solution-based fintech platform. So we shall now have Asian Global's IR pitch. Would you please start?
Hello, my name is J.S. Kang, CEO of Asian. Seems like there's a lot of companies related to the bio, but we are more like a finance side. And then technologically, we are realizing the autonomous driving car in the finance sector actually. So there's a huge demand in the market side, and then also there's a huge a supply side. Finance side is try to provide a capital this kind of demand side. Basically like a small and medium enterprises or like electrical vehicle. The financing is a new types of demand is emerging in the market. And then basically to realize this kind of the business models, the technology is a very important, the core, the building blocks to enable this. So this year, like a month ago, the Singapore government, as the monetary authority of Singapore, has been selected us as one of the top 10 companies to enable the reliable AI. And then the last year we were awarded the globally the second prize. The first one is Swiss Re, and the third one is BNI Mellon. And then we are expanding into most of the Asian markets in terms of technologies. And then with these technologies, we are aiming to build autonomous operating system where the data is plugged in, and the very specialized credit decisions are automated entire process. If you drive a car recently, most of the cars are stop and go automatically and adjust the speed, and then they curve automatically by looking at the environment, and then they change the reactions based on the environment and the situation they are in. So this is going to be launched in a year from now on. And then this is all the building blocks so far. So we have developed all the technologies for the last 4 or 5 years. And then with these technologies, we built a Credit Connect as a business applications. And using that platform, we are adding providing the capital for the data economy, which is I recently realized that this business model is proliferating globally. It's the same business models. We are not a bank, but using the bank's balance sheets and providing the capital. So as an expansion strategies, we have acquired in Korea one of the monopolistic position of the cash aggregated platform. So managing $3 billion of GMV. Most of the sellers are selling their products to the not only one mall, so Coupang and Neighbor, and then 11, and the other malls. Usually more than 10, they are selling their products more than 10 malls. Okay? And then through this platform, the small and medium enterprises need a finance when they purchase the product, and then they put the products in the warehouses, and then they wait until the product is sold. So we are providing a captive financing, financial products. So with this platform, we are providing a quite substantial amount of money this year. And then also, interestingly, we are also changing the electrical bus moving around the cities, using our technologies. So as this June, actually, last June, 5 months ago, so we acquired this platform. And then this platform has been originated $720 million as credits so far. And then before we merge, a $55 million quarter basis has been facilitated. And then after that, we facilitated $72 million the third quarter, and then around $90 million in this fourth quarter. So growth is exponentially is accelerating at this moment. And then we have a very core data sets around the small and medium enterprise sellers, actually. So based on that, we are providing, preparing for the digital insurances with the world's largest insurance companies. And then also we are applying for the digital economy-based credit bureau in Korean market. Like a KCB and NICE is one the other side, and then the other one is a corporate credit bureau. But last year, the regulation has been relaxed to allow this kind of newcomers join the market. And then also on top of that, so we are providing buy now, pay later. So normally we think that buy now, pay later is targeting for the consumers, but so we are targeting the B2B BNPL. For example, like I'm the seller who is selling the revenue is around $2 million per month, is annual basis around $20 million, but they don't get a credit from the credit card. Just the maximum is like $3,000 per month. That's all. So that is another market that is evolving globally. So we are operating in 3 countries at this moment: in Korea, and then Vietnam and in Indonesia. And then we are targeting all these Asian countries, but Korea is naturally one of the largest market in Asia, except for China and Japan. And then we started to operate in Vietnam exactly a year ago. And then during the time, COVID situation is very severe, but it's a good time for us to build a partnership. And then we're rolling out some of the vertical focused credits in Vietnam this month. And then also we are about to acquire the P2P licenses in Indonesia, and then which is growing very fast and a very large market. And then we are aggregating a very multidimensional data sets. For example, so we are the only one who can capture this kind of information. What kind of malls they are selling their product, and what is the return rate, and what is the inventory status. So based on that, so we are applying for the credit bureau in the market. And at this moment, the financial institutions are starting to provide a capital in the receivable basis financing, very narrow area. Okay, but the sellers, they need a credit from the beginning when they purchase the product, and then entire cycle. So we are providing a very one-stop aggregating financial products to the sellers in 3 markets: Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia. And then we are preparing for IPO in the coming 2 to 3 years from now on, in targeting Japan and NASDAQ. And then our company is located in Singapore and covering all these countries. And then I think, yes. So yes, that is the end of the presentations. And if you have any questions, please raise any questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentations. And is there any question? So, yes.
So it's a pretty generic question, but you listed US as your next market to expand into. Given your ASEAN, sort of North Asia, ASEAN market presence, I mean, I just want to understand the sequential strategy, thought process behind that, and how you would strategize your entry into US market from a competitive landscape perspective.
Yeah, so we are not entering into the e-commerce financing market in the US. So we are changing the battery, the buses here in Korea. And then most of the cars are changing into combustion engine to electrical vehicle based the product as a vehicle. And then the financial product is not used to this kind of change. So we are calculating the residual value of the battery, and that is the collateral actually. So that is the concept that we have providing the capital for the EV battery market, EV financing market. And then recently, the Joe Biden has passed the $1 trillion bill, infrastructure bill, the last month, actually. And then the $15 has been allocated this kind of segment, especially changing the school buses. Okay, so the same technology can be applicable to the United States as well.
So I'm pretty sure we have another question here.
The question is, what financing round are you in at the moment, and at what amount are you trying to raise?
B closing and then preparing C. C raising $30 to $50 million, starting from next year.
Next year, okay, got it. And also for the loan origination, is it on the book or is it P2P?
No, so we are using the first-tier bank, and then our clients are Shinhan Bank and then SC and then also Kookmin Bank coming from this month, and then also the two capital companies we are using their books actually.
And for the e-commerce transaction, I was wondering where the source of the raw data is. You say you guys have a lot of aggregate data that comes in, and you're one of the only companies that can go through the data through AI. I was wondering where you get the data from.
The data is coming from the acquired company. So there's no the screenshot. The sellers are selling their products in the multiple modes. There's more than 10 modes. And then that platform is connecting all each modes and the scrapping and the collecting and distributing to the sellers. So we by ourselves collecting all this data.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So we'll take over the microphone.
Sorry, just one more question for the B2B BNPL, buy now, pay later. How quickly, and if you calendarize that, how quickly would that be within your scope of business going forward?
Actually, so we are already partially doing it actually. So we are formalizing and expanding. That is the rest of the homework at this moment. So as a global trend is that Goldman Sachs has been acquired the furniture focus, the vertical line of Sky, something like that. So this market is moving that direction. For example, I'm providing the capital, very specific vertical market, and big players are trying to acquire this company. Okay, so we already doing it because our segments. If you look at the value chain of the one clients, and the risk premium is very high at the beginning and then goes down when they sell the product, and then risk premium goes down. So we need a very dynamic pricing strategies to provide a capital based on the risks they have. Okay, so we are already doing it, but we are formalizing like that.
Thank you very much for your sincere responding. So any other questions? Maybe everybody is satisfied? Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you very much for your very... thank you.
Thank you. You'll be able to grow to become Korea's and the world's top innovative AI company. Thank you very much. So we looked into a total of 10 startups pitch. What did everyone think? I hope that this event was insightful to our professional investors and participating companies, also to viewers. And I also would like to call out attention to the investors in our audience. Yes, so we have 17 firms here, including Hanwha Investment and Securities, Yuanta Investment and Securities, Dadam Investment, SL Investment, Stone Ventures, among others, actively investing in Korea's startups. And we have prepared a free networking session for everyone to get better acquainted with each other. And before we start a networking session, I would like to introduce KISED, KISET, our TIPS operating partners, and our global accelerators. First of all, let me introduce briefly about KISED. It is building a support system for startups of all stages and sizes so that they can start, grow, and change the world for the better. 9 of startups that you have just met today are a part of KISED's post-TIPS program. Just for those of you who are not aware, TIPS is the Korean government's premier startup support program with a grant of up to 1.2 billion Korean won, or about $1 million US. And TIPS is run by our TIPS operating partners investors who qualify, invest, and accelerate all startups accepted into the program. So now, everyone, I'd like to introduce our TIPS operating partners in our audience. So first of all, we'll have Blue Point Partners, the accelerators behind the company iTED. Blue Point Partners have invested in nearly 200 promising startups, all looking to build the next big things. So please welcome Ms. Kim Yoo-jung, the principal at Blue Point, with a big round of applause.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Yoo-jung Kim from Blue Point Partners, and I'm here today to introduce who we are and what we do in Korean startup ecosystem. I'm gonna skip this part. I know no one is interested. And we are an accelerator firm with more than $700 million assets under management, which we invest early in founders building fast-growing technology companies. Our investment philosophy is pretty simple and straightforward. We pursue first investment, solo investment, and accelerating before foundation. This is a quite interesting part. 46% of our portfolio companies are built up from pre-establishment stage. I'm going to explain a little more about this later. We've backed more than 200 companies as of December. And our portfolio companies, we call them Blue Family, have raised more than $500 million. And their valuation has exceeded more than $2 billion. As you can see here, we've invested in diverse industries, biomedical, AI, food tech, healthcare, things like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean we only back deep tech startups. We also support service platform, B2B SaaS, retail, what else? Beauty, fashion, things like that. Human capital is the most valuable asset we have. The collective sum of individuals with different expertise, different life experience, background, different way of thinking, all of them represents not only our culture, but also it contributes significantly to the achievement of Blue Family, and of course, as well as our fund performance. This is the program that I mentioned earlier. This is our batch program, Dongchang. It offers 11 months incubating accelerating service. We discover youngsters with entrepreneurship, and we get rid of all the hurdles blocking their way to start their own firms, and we help them to test, build, develop their idea, and learn from each other for 11 months. We also work closely with key stakeholders, government and large corporations, on how to support entrepreneurs, and so startups can thrive. We try to provide the most relevant and impactful support for entrepreneurs. Blue Point Demo Day provides the opportunity to network with later stage investors. And Blue Satellites, Blue Sea Day provides to meet other Blue family members and experts in different fields. We encourage them to get away from their daily work once in a while and try to think in a different box, out of box, whatever that is. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction of Blue Point, and I hope that Blue Point will take their step forward in TIPS programs with the great partners. Thank you very much once again for coming today. And also we have TIPS operating partners here. Kite Entrepreneurship Foundation, they are accelerating Asian Global. They have helped nearly 80 companies as their investments and their vast expertise on the motto, paid forward. And today we have Ms. Bang Na-hyun. Yes, investor at Kite. Please welcome her.
Hello, everybody. I'm Emma. And thank you for showing your interest in Asian Global because we are the one that believed his dream in the firm. I'm going to quickly summarize what we do and then reason why we invested on Asian Global. So I'm Emma from Kite Entrepreneurship Foundation, and Kite Entrepreneurship Foundation is a non-profit organization that supports tech startup in early stages. We have invested in 85 startups, and it's been 9 years. And among them, 52 startups has joined TIPS program. We're doing actively, we are investing in and helping them. Asian Global was one of them that we invested in year 2016. And as you heard just before the IR, this firm has been increasing their influence in fintech industry in both local and overseas. When we first met Asian Global, and back then the leader had great passion as you felt today, and also the vision with talented professionals with diverse background. And we highly value the founder's experience in financial industry, especially his insights on data. And also the platform that they were planning to create at the time called Abacus seemed promising in traditional financial industry because it would open a new system in that market at the time. So we're glad to see Asian Global growing year by year. And please cheer Asian Global to make his dream and the company's dream to come true. And before I finish, thank you for having me to share this time. Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing with us your experience working with Asian Global as well. Thank you very much. And now let me introduce our global accelerator with us today. Our first accelerator is Techstar. They operate programs in over 50 cities across the US and the EU. And today we have Jonathan Moore, mentor at Techstar. Please.
Well, Jonathan couldn't make it today, so I'm Jin Ho-bae. I'm the program manager for Techstars Korea. I'm going to make it short, and we have a thing for hoodies, printed hoodies. So you'll be seeing us with this printed Techstars logo printed hoodies everywhere we go. So please do excuse me not wearing a shirt here today. Techstars is the global platform for investment and innovation, and we are operating in multiple countries with almost around 50 programs per year. These are the locations where we're located at, and we are looking to add one more country under Asia Pacific. So we'll be seeking for more opportunities to bring in investment from the US. So to best describe what our company is doing is with numbers. So like I said, around 50 programs per year around the globe, and the cumulative graduate market cap is $71 billion worth. And we have invested by October 2021, we have invested in 2,600 companies around the globe. We have around 16 unicorns till today, and we were very, very successful this year. So we added a bunch more on the unicorn side, and we are looking to have more coming in very soon. Our program comes in 4 forms for now. We are creating more customized programs which falls under Founder Catalyst programs, which are much more focused on earlier stage startups. And our flagship program is the Accelerator program, which always involves investment of $120K per startup. We do the partnerships for we do run programs for enterprises, and also for earlier students only with ideas. We run startup weekends around the globe. This is Techstars, and we hope to see you more around in Korea. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for holding our Korean company to step forward. Thank you very much once again. And now we have Startup Boot Camp. Startup Boot Camp specialized in accelerating the latest and greatest in tech, including fintech and clean energy. So we have Program Director Thomas King. Hello.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, I'm Tom King, Program Director of Startup Bootcamp and Rainmaking here in Seoul. And I'm just going to tell you quickly about what we're up to in South Korea, as well as the wider APAC region and why we think it's very exciting. But before I go on to do that, I just want to talk about something that I think is really interesting when thinking about the world today and the global innovation ecosystem. And I want to bring your attention to this. This is global real GDP growth plotted year on year. And you could actually call it GDP contraction because, as you can see, it's in a stubbornly downward trend, and it has been so since around the end of the global financial crisis. And this low-growth world is one of much more intense competition between not only businesses, but also nation states, as everyone scrambles to gain and hold market share in the world's remaining growth regions, as well as the world's remaining growth sectors. And innovation and technology plays a critical role in this story because this is the means by which competitors can stay ahead of the curve, win, and even dominate in their respective fields. And this is actually where kind of Rainmaking and Startup Bootcamp feature in the story, because we help our partners and our customers stay ahead and thrive in this hyper-competitive environment. And we do this in a number of ways. We are a global venture studio and a specialist startup market expansion and internationalization accelerator. So what we do is, first of all, we work with some of the largest companies in the world to build and invest in new companies from scratch that unlock new value and growth potential. And we also work with these companies to help them interface with startups and startup ecosystems around the world. We help them to facilitate commercial relationships with startups. And we also do this sometimes around particular themes and challenge statements, such as the programs we're running for supply chain resilience, decarbonization, maritime. And if we can facilitate corporate venture capital relationships as well, all the better. We love it when we can make that happen. And then we also work with governments to help them to incubate, scale, and internationalize local startups. And that's what we're doing in Korea primarily at the moment, working with our fantastic partners, KISED. We ran the Global Startup Academy program for the second year. It's just wrapped up. One of our companies won Demo Day yesterday, so we're pumped about that. And this year we also ran a program to help South Korean startups internationalize and enter the US market via New York, a program called K Startup Center NYC. And along with KISED, our focus is really on delivering programs that help startups deliver real commercial opportunities and traction. So we want to deliver programs that go beyond workshops and mentoring sessions that have real tangible value for participating companies. And in pursuit of this, next year we're going to be running a new kind of program that we're super excited about. We're going to be helping 50 Series A Singapore and beyond Singaporean startups to explore and take advantage of opportunities in the South Korean market. That's 50 a year. And what makes this program different is that it actually is going to run, each cycle will be 1 year long and will roll for consecutive years. So effectively, it's like a permanent program. And this really is a departure from the programs that run for a number of weeks or a number of months. And the goal is to develop commercial opportunities for those startups and bring the startups when those opportunities are primed and ready to go, so that we try and reduce the dropout rate once startups move into the new market. And this is something that we really hope we can replicate with the South Korean government as well, because we want to build a network of these programs. We kind of look at them actually as internationalization engines, permanent internationalization engines that help startups effectively enter foreign markets. And these are all the locations where we are currently helping startups in the APAC region to internationalize. So in terms of what we're asking for today, not much. We're just really looking forward to meeting you and talking to you as valued members of the South Korean innovation ecosystem, as investors and as entrepreneurs, so that we can explore future partnerships and other possibilities. And I'm sure that will lead to some really meaningful and kind of fruitful outcomes that we're really excited about. So yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much for your remarkable presentation to introduce the lots of activities that just you are operating with Korea. Thank you very much once again. And with this closes the curtains for our all sessions. And I'd like to once again thank everyone who participated. And I too will cheer on all the companies and startups that participated to prosper and grow to become one of Korea's leading companies. And this has been your host, Nelson Munsori, and also we'll have the networking session. So just feel free to visit any startup at their designated booth. Thank you so much and have a great afternoon. Thank you. 감사합니다.